Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you all. I am really excited to pop on here today to talk about something that has been, I feel like, presenting itself over and over and over to me lately in articles that I'm reading, books that I'm reading, etc. Always on the topic of productivity. My name is Megan Summerall. I'm a time management expert for women, and I'm on a mission to bring work life harmony into homes all over the world through time management, organization, productivity, and planning. And so part of my commitment to staying on top of my game is anytime new books come out, anytime someone sends me, oh, have you heard about this technique to read? I'm always digesting it to make sure that, I'm aware of any new technology or trends or that kind of thing. And so I've been consuming a ton of content lately all around productivity and reading tips and strategies from productivity experts out there. And guys, I'm here to tell you there's a ton of great information. But what I'm noticing is there is one key thing that I continually see missing from almost all of these conversations. And so I'm curious to know if any of you might be able to guess what that is. So if you have any thoughts, please drop it in the comments. So first, let's cover some of the things that we see a lot whenever we're reading and researching around how to be more productive, how to get the things done in our life that are important to us without, getting exhausted, etc. So let's start off by first defining productivity. In the way I teach and talk about productivity, it is always this: getting the most important things done in a stress-free way. And any productivity coach or expert worth anything is going to have a similar take on that. All right. Because if they know what they're doing, they realize productivity is not about getting more done than our neighbor. All right. So if you're right out of the gate, if you're seeing anybody that's like, I'm going to teach you how to get everything done, just ignore, move on, and find somebody that's realizing, no, that's not our end game here. Our end game is to make sure we're getting the most important things done to us in a way that's not stressing us out. I love that Nikki's saying a realistic view of our lives. You are practically hitting the nail on the head there. So here's what we typically see people talking about. Some conversation around understanding the value of our time, because that's really important for us to help us make decisions on what we say yes and no to. There's a ton of great tools and strategies around how to better batch our time, meaning very intentionally carve out a chunk of time to do a series of activities that keep us in the same frame of mind to kind of maximize our efficiencies there, right? Productivity conversations should include priorities, making sure that you are focused on the things that matter most and not getting derailed from the things that don't. Sadly, I see that prioritization element missing sometimes in productivity conversations. But again, a good productivity coach is going to be talking about that. There's usually some element of planning. A lot of productivity experts out there still keep you focused on a daily mode instead of the weekly, which here at Work Life Harmony at the Pink Bee, we're all about our weekly planning. But here is what is often missing, and Nikki nailed it, which is a realistic view of our lives. And specifically, what's missing from those conversations is, what do we do if we are in a primary caregiver role, right? Whether it's caring for your parents, caring for young children, because if you are a primary caregiver to human beings that are not 100% self-sufficient, you have to have a strategy to accommodate that. I recently just read a book that was fantastic. I believe every business owner should read it. It was called Buy Back Your Time. And when he got to this book here, I'm going to do probably a whole podcast episode on it. But when he got to describing how to create a perfect week, that was the only part of the book I was like, no, we fell short here, because his strategy was to book every minute of your day to help keep you on track. But he also is not the primary caregiver for their two young children. If there's a problem at school, they're not calling him, right? If there's a sick kid, he's not the one stepping in and doing that. So I just wanted to bring that up here today, because if you are looking for strategies, planning techniques, etc., that are not upfront. Sorry about my dogs, guys. That are not upfront addressing this and telling you, hey, we need to make sure that what I call it planning for uncertainty, that you know how to create a plan that will let you absorb the uncertainty that goes along with being a primary caregiver. All right. So this is one of the things that I'm very passionate about. I teach on it inside the top program. I've actually done a podcast episode on planning for uncertainty. If you are a podcast subscriber, the episode that came out today was talking about another book called The 4-Hour Workweek. And you will hear me in my discussion of that book again. Caregiving is completely non-existent inside of that book. So everything that he talks about, everything that he discusses is leaving out the fact of, that sounds great, but what if you're a caregiver? Like, it's completely unrealistic. So if you are looking for time management, realistic planning strategies where we actually talk about this and we address the fact that there is uncertainty in our lives when we are in the role of caregivers. And I say we because I am still in that role as a primary caregiver of a young child who is not self-sufficient. I encourage you to check out information about my signature program, which is the top program. I know a lot of you watching right now are already students inside the program. If you want to learn more about it, you can just go to thetopprogram.com. That webpage there lists everything that the program covers. And I've even got a free video training that you can watch as well. That's going to kind of talk some about this idea of how we plan for uncertainty and then give you all the information about the program too. I don't often come on when I do my little weekly, check-ins with you all here like this and just talk about the top program and tell you how great it is. But it was on my heart this week because I'm reading so much information. 3 more books were sent to me to check out on all things time management, productivity, and a quick scan through all of them. I see again, it's missing the conversation of how do we create plans? How do we stay productive when we are in a caregiver role, when we are in a stage of life where there is a lot of uncertainty and things that are outside of our control. So again, I encourage you, go check out thetopprogram.com. And I'm going to leave you with a quick homework assignment. I've done this before, but in case you have missed it, here is the first step in helping you plan for uncertainty. All right. Is you need to have a realistic idea of how much time on average, either per day or per week, do you need to spend in this role where things came up that you had not planned for. And the best way for you to do that is to actually track it. And this is why we start with a time audit inside of the top program. It's not to make you feel bad about how you're spending your time. It's to help you learn and understand what are the realities of your life today, because we have to know that information in order to create a plan that supports it. All right. So I would love for you all, if you haven't done it yet, Nikki, I know you've already done it, to take the time and learn for yourself how much of your time every week needs to be set aside, protected, and preserved for things that are coming your way that you don't know about yet. All right, guys, I will not be doing a live training next week. I will be on my family vacation. But if you have a specific topic that you would like me to cover here on future weeks, please send it into team@megansummerall.com. Let me know what question is burning inside of you that you would want me to cover here, because we've got, we're always taking suggestions, advice, etc. from the community. I want to make sure that I show up and serve you to help you where you need the most help right now. Have a fantastic rest of your week.